Do a short tour of the shop. This is going to be where the bandsaw goes. And eventually there's going to be an aquarium there. And there'll be some shutters, and this is going to be the library up into this wall here. And the wall is going to come over and connect to this. And this is going to be, it's going to be two French doors here with panes, 3 panes by, I don't know, 4 or 5. I might have to see which door I like on both sides, and then 2 more over here. Both of them are going to have to open to the center of this room, the green room library, so that you don't impede the hallway here and you don't impede the dining room here, because this was and is going to be the dining room one day. I took the chandelier out because I was tired of running into it, and put a cheap, like $1.67 porcelain socket up there. I think it doesn't even come with a ground wire, and stuck a 300 watt LED 500K light, pure white, and it is about as bright as daytime, just like it claims. You can see the shadows casting on the wall here, and it's daylight. So that's going to help. Not that I'll probably be running this stuff at night, because the neighbors would just absolutely love me if I was doing that. And on the other side here, there's going to be, for all the shoes and guests that come over, I'm going to have a shoe rack in here. It's going to go in here pretty deep. And I don't know, I'm hoping I can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 4, like 20 pairs of shoes in that section. I don't know what kind of doors are going to be, if they're going to roll into the back or if they open up, and it depends on the look and what I have room for. So I haven't figured that one out yet. As the setup is right now, it's not going to change too much. That's going to be the 17-inch bandsaw, and it's, you know, pretty close to 25 feet from here, down the hallway, around the corner, and into the laundry room, to where I can get power off of that outlet, 240 for the dryer, and I'm sure that's 15 amps, the 240 outlet, 220, whatever you want to call it, 230. All depends on who you're talking to. So I'll probably get an RV 30-foot, 30 amp cord, 240, and that'll bring me out here and give me 5 feet. So that'll be plenty of room to maneuver it around if I need to, run some long pieces out that way, although I probably won't be doing that because all this plastic is going to be to enclose this area, and then I'm going to take those vents out, wrap those in plastic, seal them back up in there in order to not have any dust go in there, all the sawdust. And I have a dust, I don't know what this is, sawdust encapsulator. I have to buy another filter for it. That one only filters out to 5 microns. There's one that's a big pleated one that fits in there. It's maybe a little shorter than what that is, and it filters down to a 0.5 micron. So, you know, I'll obviously be wearing a face mask and everything, but still, I'm going to be as safe as I possibly can. And I'm going to build a box. If that doesn't work, I've got, well, in addition to that, I'm going to build a box with a fan and 2 filters that I can slide in on each side and hang it from the ceiling. If that doesn't work, I'll buy an actual filtration system for, I think, $100 from Wen, same drill press company. I'm going to have to build a table for the table saw and an outfeed table, which will probably be a combination assembly table. Is it ROUBO, I think, Robo, some type of bench that is quite common in woodworking. The joiner is going to go here, and the planer is going to go here. That's a DeWalt, and this one Starts with a C. I can't remember what it is, but there's the combination disc and belt sander. Drum sander would be nice, but those are expensive. Here's the drill press and the compound sliding 12-inch DeWalt miter saw with stand. The stand was free. That was great. And I got, I think, $50. You know, I should have used a 10% coupon on that, because I think that was $600. I would have saved another $10. That was dumb. Just now realizing that. Oh well. Bought Bosch and Porter cable, dovetail maker for building drawers for the shop, for the kitchen when I redo the cabinets, for the closets when I build the closets, and bought a router table, a couple of grippers to be safe. There is an adjustable sleeve that they make for this that I bought. That way you can get precision when you're raising and lowering the bit. I bought some starter bits just to see, and then a ton of different measuring devices. This one's going back. This one may be going back too. This is for setting up the table saw blade. Not that you're going to get all that much precision off of this. I mean, you really need like a $3,500, $5,000 plus table saw, but those things are extremely heavy, too expensive for what I'm doing. I'm not to that level yet. Don't know that I will be, so this is like mid-grade. This will be sufficient for now. Couple of DeWalt hand tools. That Spotlight is amazing. That's the impact gun I was talking about. They make a much better version of this though. Actually, that is an XR. There's still a better version of this where you got like a 3 selector switch up here, and it's 3 different levels. And the Craftsman that I bought like 5 years ago and just now started to use, I knew I was going to end up having use for. Jigsaw. Paid only $5 for these on Christmas Eve. That was great. $5 for that. Paid $5 for just about everything. These coupons that weren't supposed to work unless you spent $50, they worked. And if I would have known that, I would have stocked up on these things and probably would have sold them. I would have been hitting all kinds of Harbor Freights left and right. Saw blades. So that's basically. I just bought that, and I've got a welder over here. Most of this stuff is Harbor Freight. That thing is, God, I've had that thing probably since 2012, like 5 years. And I've got 2 of these ladders, and I'm using this for a table because I'm getting ready to modify the engine hoist. And I forgot to go buy. I knew I was going to Harbor Freight for something, and I felt like I was forgetting something, and it wasn't this blade, and I figured it out when I was almost home, because I just bought this thing and I needed a blade for it, but I'm not going to be using it just yet. What I needed to buy was the 2-ton engine hoist. It's not an engine hoist, it's a manual chain hoist that I'm going to connect to this. So grandfather and I were trying to figure out how I was going to be able to make this work. He suggested to come along. I'm like, that's probably not going to work because you can't really let it down. It would just drop. And then he says if you could, somehow put that electric winch on there, it would make it work. And I'm like, yeah, that would work. But I couldn't. I haven't really welded anything yet, so I'm definitely not going to be confident in any weld I put on there. And that would be a precarious situation that I don't want to endeavor into. So, but I was thinking what he was saying, because if this boom is raised up, straight up, and it's behind the legs of the engine hoist, it's stable. The second it starts going out past the legs, that's when it can be becoming unstable, and then eventually you'll hit a tipping point and that thing will just come crashing down, which probably maybe would explain why some of those cranes on YouTube always go tipping over. But anyway, somebody didn't do the math on those. So with this boom all the way up in the air, I'll have a lot of height, and should be more than enough. And then it occurred to me that if I had a chain hoist right there, I could hook right up to this, connect it to this, and I wouldn't have to lower this at all. It would always be up past on the inside of the legs. So I would be in a safe zone for that. It'd be extremely stable if you were centered right in between them, which is where I'm going to be almost. And then I would only have to raise that chain up just a little bit, pull the trailer out, and then just lower it. And that's going to be very easy. So I have this piece, if you saw the other video, it's a 1/4 inch wall, and it's a 2x2 square tubing steel, and it's going to take the place of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole probably about 2 inches back here, and sorry for the camera not focusing, and that's going to accept the bolt for that. I'm going to take that out, stick it through here, shove the chain in this way, connect the chain and the hook, and then I'm going to connect that to the engine hoist, to the manual chain lift, and I'm going to drill 2 more holes down here, and they're going to be just the right distance apart. I am going to have to take that piece out of the garage on the cherry picker, so I'll probably come maybe 3 inches in and drill one right here center, and then it'll be in perfect distance length, so it'll match up outside, and I'll go walk out there and show you what I'm talking about. So the Harbor Freight cherry picker engine hoist, I'm going to have to take this thing off so that I can bring this, and take this off so I can bring this inside, so that after I get done drilling the first hole, I can bolt it in and probably tighten it up so it doesn't move too much. Maybe even wedge something in there, I don't know. And get a center point on here. And then I can drill right through this one into that one. And use this as a guide, hopefully. Because if I can get those just right, and I can have this one on that 2-inch piece in the back. It's like 5 inches long. But if I can get them just like this far apart on it, I can run it all the way back here, which is where I'm going to originally start. And if that's not high enough, I can move it up, and then I can move it up one more, and that's as far as I would go on that. Because if you do here, it's not really holding enough, and I don't even really want to go past here, to be honest with you. I'm hoping it's going to be long enough. It all depends on how low that chain hoist is going to be when I connect it. Oh, there goes my lights. So I'm going to have to remove that. So I'll go back inside here and plug in the drill press. This is the other thing. I've got to wedge this thing with a pry bar, otherwise I can't raise and lower this. It's just too tight, and that can't be right. I don't know why it's like that, but it is. Plug that in. And I've got a small bit in there now so that I can puncture through once I already own one of these, but it's at the shop, and so I had to go buy another one, and just for the punches. I'm hoping if I can just get that thing just centered, and then I can start it with this one, I can finish it with these new bits that I just bought. These are supposed to be a great deal at Harbor Freight. I think I paid, I think I got this was 25% off, but I'm going to need an 11/16. I'm going to need this guy here if he's in order. It goes all the way up to 1 inch. And this is for drilling metal. They shoot right through wood without any type of hesitation. but these are supposed to be great for metal as well. I'm gonna have to make an emulsion, some oil and water to prevent it from overheating and ruining the bit. But this is, you're not supposed to turn this unless it's on. So oh, that's spinning high. 1160. I think that's the highest I've seen it spin. That belt must be very tight. So in order to slow it down, you use this speed handle, and you're going to want to go slow. Wow. It's supposed to get down to like 230, but that sucker's actually flying pretty quick. Let me pause this thing and see if I can get a little more on it. Alright, so I got it down to 270, which is lower than, if it's accurate, lower than what they claim is possible, 280. Although it does say up to 1,000, and this one goes 1160 we were at, so. And we got the laser here. So I can make sure I don't drill through the table there. Make sure that lines up. And I also have a light here, which the LED light that it came with was horrible. So I put in a white 500K Philips 100 watt LED, and that's much better and brighter. And I also picked up a couple of drill press clamps. So make some oil and water mixture. I wish I had a brush. And lift this piece up on here, clamp it down, shim it up, and I should be ready to start drilling once I figure out where the center point is and mark it, punch it, and then start drilling. So, and I don't know if I covered this or not. I went out and bought some grade 8 5/8 bolts, 5/8 washers, and a nut for 2 of them, so that I could attach these to, I could attach this to that cherry picker outside. So if something fails, it's not going to be this, it's not likely going to be that, it's going to be the cherry picker. But I'll only be lifting 360 pounds at the most, so I don't really foresee this being an issue. That thing was capable of 500 pounds all the way extended. So, you know, I don't think it's going to fail. One should hope not. But we'll see.